All right, we're going to factor all types of polynomials. It's going to be hard not to do that every video. So these are what you're going to do. Write this down, people. Check for a GCF. Two terms is a difference of squares. Remember, you have to have perfect square with a minus in the middle. Three terms, you're going to do the big X if it's a quadratic. It has to be in standard form. Four terms is grouping, which is what three terms turns into. Check for another difference of squares or a GCF. Check again for a DOS or a GCF. Double, triple, check, check, double, triple, double, triple, check, check. So, oh, look at that. How cute that is that she put that up there. Okay, I'm not a snake fan, but those are pretty colors. And it kind of looks like it spells small. I don't know. All right. Two terms. First thing I'm going to check for is a GCF. There is one. They both have a 24. So if I divide them each by 24, I get x plus 2y. Remember, GCF and then the leftovers. Don't just divide and give me the division. Ooh, he's just scary looking, even in a picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first thing we should do is check for a GCF, and there is one. Everybody has an A. So remember, we're going to take that A out. Then we're going to divide all these little guys by A. So I have 12A squared plus 3A. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm very confused. Minus 8A minus 2. Now, I think I'm just confused because these two terms could be combined together, but if I do that, then I'm going to do the big X and get back to grouping. So let's just go ahead, keep the A, keep the bracket, and let's do some grouping. These two have a 3A in common. All right, at this point, I'm just going to tell you what the thing is in common. And again, if you're struggling with that, go see a teacher. 12 divided by 3 is 4 with an A. 3A divided by 3A is 1. I got to take out a negative. I'm going to take out a negative 2. That leaves me with 4A plus 1. So when I put this all together, don't lose that A. What these two have in common is 4A plus 1. Factor that out. I get 3A minus 2. Now, if you had not done the GCF at the beginning and you had gone right into grouping, you would have taken out a 3A squared and you would have had 4A plus 1. You would have taken out a negative 2A and you would have had 4A plus 1. You would have gotten 4A plus 1 times 3A squared minus 2A. And a lot of you would have just stopped there. But this is what that double, triple, check, check means. They both have an A. Take that out, you get 3A minus 2, and then don't forget to put the 4A plus 1 there. Oh, look, it's the same answer. I feel like I should speak, oh, what is that language Harry Potter speaks? Tussle tongue, puzzle, I don't know. Snake, I should speak snake. Someone, extra credit, secret word. What is that language Harry Potter speaks? Pull out the X. We got a GCF here. We've got X squared plus 3X minus 18. This needs a big X because there's 3 terms left. Take out the negative 18 where we got by multiplying, and we have 3. Our numbers are going to be 3 and negative, or negative 3 and 6. That gives me negative 18 and positive 3. Okay, leave the X. It's going to be X squared minus 3X plus 6X minus 18. We're going to do some grouping here. Leave the X. I'm going to pull out an X. When I divide each of these by X, I get X minus 3. I'm going to pull out a positive 6. I get X minus 3. Keep the X. My common factor between those two is X minus 3 with my leftovers of X plus 6. Slither on to the next slide. Oh, goodness. Okay, now this one is just, look, he's smiling. Isn't that cute? Okay, he's cute. He's cute for a snake. We shall call him, oh, golly, what should his name be? Scott. Scott the snake. I like alliteration when I name my animals, apparently. However, my cat's name is Moo. Yeah, don't even know what to go there. Here's a hint. You've got more than one variable in each term. That means you've got to GCF it. So what do they all have? Looking at 9, I've got 1, 3, and 9. 9 won't work, but 3 will. They all have an h squared. They do not all have a g, so I'm not even going to worry about looking at that. So I'm going to divide them all by 3h squared. 9 divided by 3 is 3. The h squares cancel. I have g squared. 24 divided by 3 is 8. The h squares cancel. I have g. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and the h squares cancel. At this point, you might think, I am done, but we have to double, triple check. Can this trinomial be factored? 3 times 4 is 12. We're looking for factors of 12 that add up to 8, and they would be 2 and 6. Leave the 3h squared there, put a bracket. We're going to rewrite this. 3g squared plus 2g plus 6g plus 4. Leave the 3h squared there and go into grouping. Pull out a g here. Leaves me with 3g plus 2. Here we're going to pull out a positive 2. Leaves me with 3g plus 2. So don't lose that 3h squared. These two have 3g plus 2 in common. Factor that out. You have g plus 2. Well, that was snazzy and sneaky. Next slide. Ooh, look at it's a snake. Oh, I like how I wrote that. All right. Sorry. We're going to factor out a 2. If we don't factor out a 2, there is absolutely nothing we can do with this problem. We have 2 perfect terms with a minus, but neither one of those are perfect squares. Once we do this, though, this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square, and we still have that minus. So we're going to leave the 2, we're going to go plus minus, and we're going to say, what is the square root of x to the 4th? Okay, so x to what power squared gave us x to the 4th? That would be x squared. What is the square root of 16? 4. Oh my gosh! Look at this one. Perfect square, minus. So I'm going to leave the 2. I'm going to leave the x squared plus 4. Remember, I cannot do a sum of squares. And I'm going to set up my difference of squares. Square root of x squared is just x. Square root of 4 is 2. Holy McMullenstein. That was crazy. GCF, difference of squares, so much going on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, and again, I have lots of variables in each term, so I'm going to look for a GCF. They all have a P, and that is it. So if I pull out a P, I have 3m squared n minus 12n plus 5m squared minus 20. There are 4 terms, so I'm going to try, oops, that was supposed to be black. I'm going to try grouping. These first two have a 3n, so if I divide both of these by 3n, I get m squared minus 4. These both have a positive 5, so pull out a 5, we get m squared minus 4. Keep that 5. These two have a common factor of m squared minus 4. When I factor that out, I have 3n plus 5. You know what, guys? Where did I even come up with a 5? That's a P. You were all going, oh my gosh, she got bit by a snake and she's just gone into silly Sally mode. Ooh, secret word. Silly Sally. That's what happens when you get bit by a snake. Oh my gosh, we thought we were ready to move on, but we are not. Look at this guy. Anytime there's a squared term, that means look. That's a real clue for double, triple checking. Otherwise, it's a GCF. But if there's a square, you're going, did I miss a difference of squares? And lo and behold, I did. That's going to factor into a plus minus. My P and my 3n plus 5 are just hanging out. Square root of m squared is m. Square root of 4 is 2. Sweet. All right, 3 terms. The first thing I check for is a GCF. There is not one. So I'm going to do a big X between 13 and negative 5. The only choice for 13 is 1 and 13. That does not add to equal 5. Therefore, this is prime. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So move on. Look, I just feel like snakes stick their tongue out at you a lot, like nana, nana, boo, boo. All right, so on this one, we have a GCF of 4. So we're going to pull out that 4, leaves me with f squared plus 3f minus 1. That f squared, remember, means let's try something else. We're going to try a big X. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1, and 3, no options because my only option is 1 and 1. Now, we do not say this one's prime because I factored out a GCF. So this one does factor, it just doesn't factor any further. Checkpoint! Okay, guys, look at him. Ooh, he's not sticking his tongue out at us. He's a very nice little guy. Look, I just want to take my colors and just like color in his scales and make him a very colorful snake. It's probably an insult to snakes. Anyway, pause. Remember, GCF, difference of squares, big X, grouping, and double, triple check, check. Okay? Pause. Oh, guys,